Hello guys, welcome back. Okay, so this is going to be a very cool one. This particular image right here, we posted it I guess 2 weeks ago and last week as well, and a lot of persons we are like, how did you do that? How did you do that? How did you do that? So today we are going to be taking you step-by-step guide on exactly how you can transform this particular background into this one right here. Okay, yeah, so without wasting much of your time, let's quickly get started. The first thing I will need to do is to separate my object from my background. I would have said to crop, but being that the size of my image and the size of my background actually look the same, I won't crop it. I will leave it like this. But first of all, we need to take away all those distractions and be able to work. So I can actually create a rectangular marquee tool over here. Or instead of using that, let me just do lasso tool and do a rough sketch of the areas that are good. Like this. Let's check. Good. Select inverse and fill the inverse up. So this should be able to take away all the light stand and every other distraction. Let's see how it gets beautiful. This was press Ctrl D. Now we'll have our background as plain as possible. So I think I will need to bring this down. Well, let's start working. Maybe at the end of the day, we'll crop it. I feel the space, negative space is too much. But for now, let's work with what we have. Now, the next thing I need to do is to separate the object from the background and clean the background. Very important. So I'll go here and make a selection of my object. So once the selection is made, right click and go to select inverse. I need to separate, or more like remove all the chair, so I wouldn't have to lose them when I go to the next step. Okay. So if you have been finding it difficult doing these particular techniques that we always do using gray, let's say you have other background color in your studio, then pay very close attention to the technique I'm going to be using here. Very important. It's very common, but it saves you a lot of stress, right? Very common, but it saves you a lot of stress. So pay attention to that. You will see it when I do it. So the next thing I will do is I'm going to bring this selection a bit closer to my object, right? So I will just avoid all the halos that comes with it at the end of the day. So I'll go to select, modify. So instead of contracting, I will expand by 2, brings it in. I think that is too much. Let's expand by 1. Beautiful. Then make a duplicate. Right click and go to layer via cut. So I'm going to reselect the background and now smoothing it out by blurring it. So this allows us to get a very clean background. Now, the next thing we're about to do is very important. Come over here and make sure that your object layer is the one above. Make sure it's the one above. Then stay on this one and create a gray solid color. Very, very important, right? So just come over here, excuse me. Just come over here, go to solid color and select a gray background. Press OK. Change the blend mode to color. Yeah. So what this does is that it eliminates the whole color of the original background that will pop up in this image much more later. But for now, let me turn it off so you can see the reason why we brought it in. So come to your main background, unlock it, and just drag it over your object. So you see why we did it crop, so that once we put it, it will fit in, right? So I can decide to scale in a little bit, just like this. Press OK and change the blend mode to overlay. But now I am not going to work with overlay because it's going to flatten out the background I just brought in. Although if we want to control this, we can control it. But I want to show you a very professional technique that I use all the time, right? So if you look at what we have here now, you'll notice that it's blended. But the problem is that the color is not sharp. So what do we do with the color? Very, very simple. Excuse me, I want to make sure I get this right. So what do we do with the color? Make a duplicate of this and change this back to normal, right? Turn it off. Come down here. So if I turn off my grip, solid color, you will notice that the colors of the original background is showing up on the background we just brought in, and it is not what we want. So that is why we created this. This is the way you can actually keep avoiding this every single time you use it in your own images. So come to the original background and create a mask for it. Pick up your brush and restore your shadow like this. Very important. So you can just toggle before and after to see all the areas where your shadow was before and after. So those shadows are very important to make sure that what we are doing looks good, right? I think it's too much, so I'm just going to reduce it a little bit so it doesn't look dirty. Okay, so this works perfectly. Now, but how do we fix this area? Very simple. Turn this back on and now create a mask for it. Use the mask to take away all the flow. Just take away all the flow. And because it's shining, which I wouldn't want it to, I'll just come over here and create a curves adjustment layer and darken it down so that I have it back to what it was originally. Very good. So now we have our shadows perfectly restored and everything. Now, how do we make even our object pop out and stand out from what we have going on right here? Very simple. We need to intentionally color grade her skin and make her pop out. Then if you zoom in and notice that some of your hair or something, you are losing it, because we have this down here, you can come over here and use your brush to restore it. Not there, sorry. You can come over here, yes, use your brush to restore any particular area. Then use mask on this particular. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's say I want to bring back her hair, which I do not want to. If I come over here and brush, right, and I turn this off, you will notice that that area that I brushed is restored. And remember that what is restored is what we have down here, which is where it will show you any stray hair that you lost. So what I'm doing here is just a little calculation. All I will need to do is just to create a mask here and just paint over that area, and what I have already unveiled here will show up. That is how to use it. Okay, so now having my object layer here, I'm going to create a solid color. I always love doing this, right? Because it allows me to use the exact skin tone of the model. So I'll just select a skin tone from her skin and maybe just brighten it up a little. Press OK. Then over here, create a duplicate, add a mask and go to select color range. So it gives you almost all her skin tone by itself. But if that doesn't work, you can do it manually. Like I notice it's selecting my chair, and my chair is quite huge to come and start painting out. So let me just take care of it here. Press OK. So if I use this mask and replace this, you notice that the solid color is now located just on her skin. Most of the spaces it's covering. So for the remaining areas, we can just brush. And if you want to avoid, overpainting into the background, just clip it, right? Just clip it. So change the blend mode to color. Very important. I always love doing this because it allows me blend the whole skin tone in case there is an area that is missing. Press Ctrl J, change to soft light. Now reduce it as well. So if I put the two of them in a group, you notice how the skin tone is popping out. But I think it's too saturated and it's too dark. So we need to come over here, saturation, drop it down a bit, brightness, push it up a little bit more. Press OK. So I'll use this to replace this, right? So all I need to do is just to copy the hex code, come over here and paste it, and it will automatically assume that hex code. Now you will notice that we'll have the skin looking a bit more popping out. So all we need to do is to intentionally now color grade, brighten things up, and boom, we'll have it standing out. So let me create a global color grading for the image over here. So if I come over here and change my lots into different colors, we will see different colors I will have here. So I think I can actually release this one. It looks beautiful but rough. So let's just keep moving. This works for me perfectly. Beautiful. So I think I'm going to work with this particular color. Maybe push up the saturation a little bit inside my camera roll. But I like the way it created that beautiful harmony across the whole image. So once we are done doing this, all that is remaining now is our little scale retouching, and boom, we get straight to work. So for my scale retouching, I use Kumo to do most of my skin retouching. So I'll not do my skin retouching right here. So I'll go to my filter, go to camera raw filter. So inside my camera raw filter, I'm just going to pop the colors up, right? Increase my shadows, reduce my highlight. I think I need to bring down the exposure down just slightly. Beautiful. And we are good to go. So once we are done, all I need to do is to crop. Very important, so the background doesn't become bigger than the object. So we just crop it, but I still need this part to show up. So we'll just crop like this. Press enter. So what I'm going to do much more later in Kumo is I'm going to retouch her skin. Right? I'm going to retouch her skin. Adjust her body shape, and we are good to go. So there's a particular prop that we are supposed to add right here, but I think it looks really, really beautiful. And this is exactly how you do it. So if I go to my history now and create a snapshot and go all the way to the top. So this is the before, right? This is the after. This is the before. This is the after. Thank you so much for watching this amazing video. Do make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you subscribe, click on the notification bell to get notified every single time we drop a new video. Until then, see you on the next one.